What's the value? What am I going to get out of being at an event with Dr. Joe Borio? So number one, you're going to get this. We call our company, I do, Chiropassion for a reason, because I don't know of anybody out there who's more passionate about what we do as chiropractors. I mean, every man, woman, and child should be under regular care. Every man, woman, and child should be getting adjusted regularly. But the problem we have is that the public doesn't understand what we do as chiropractic. We've got a bunch of passionate chiropractors who love what we do, who understand the value of it. You get into this profession because you love what you do, and you get there and you're like, wow, I love what I do. And the rest of the world doesn't necessarily love what I do. They don't understand it. Why do I have to feel like I'm selling it or pushing it to the rest of the world as a chiropractor, right? That's the challenge. That is the challenge. So you're out here and you got something beautiful that all of humanity would better their life with, and yet most people don't know what it is we do. So the challenge as a chiropractor is how to communicate. I don't say that word lightly. How to communicate, how to transfer the value of what we do so that every man, woman, and child understands the benefit of being under regular care. That is why you need to be with me in Chicago on March 8th and 9th. Because again, I say this out of love, the majority of the profession isn't great at it. You know, a coach, a mentor, a teacher isn't necessarily smarter or better than a doc who's already out there. The mentor, the teacher, the coach, what we do is we have a different perspective. We have a different perception. And we take what you're already great and we just train on what the blind spot is. We train on those fundamentals so that your greatness, if you will, can come through. You know, I've had the blessings of having one of the highest volume practices in the history of chiropractic. And when it comes to running a business, we've had one of the most profitable practices in the history of the profession. So why should you be with me in Chicago? Because every chiropractor out there needs to see more people. Because the world needs to be on chiropractic care. So how do you do that? And how do you position people to understand what we do? And how do you position people to understand the benefit and the value to be under care regularly so that their life can be better and longer and stronger, and then they can thrive by being under chiropractic care? How is it that you teach, educate, sell that? How is it that you run an office and hire people? How is it that you lay your office out? How is it that you work people throughout the rooms in your office? I mean, I deal with some docs, they have one adjusting table in your office. Boggles my mind. Like, how is it that you allow people to come in, get in and out of there for a great, healthy wellness adjustment, not treat them, right? How is it that I get to take care of people for I've been in practice almost 30 years, where 60 to 70% of my practice are practice members that I've been seeing for over 20 years. You know, how is it that I got to do that high volume? How is it that I got to run an office of such great value? How is it that I got to keep people under care for 20 or 30 years, right? How is it? That's why you need to spend the weekend with me. Nobody's done what I've done, or a handful of people have done it. You know, listen, I say this out of love. I'm not trying to slam anybody, but I see in our profession, everybody celebrates new people. I'm not saying we don't need new people in our office. Don't get me wrong. What I am saying, though, is why don't we celebrate the people that have been under care for 20 or 30 years? Like, I see people taking pictures of all the new patient files that got scheduled that day and such. You know what that says to me? If you need 40, 50, 60 new people every month, what's happening to all the people that are in your office? They're staying with you, what, for 17, 18 adjustments? Then they're leaving, right? That's literally like running a dental office where you're just taking people that have cavities. And then their cavity's gone. Hey, great job. Go out. Don't brush or floss. Hey, when that other tooth gets sick and diseased, come on in. We'll take care of you again. I mean, if you want to run your office that way, you can run your office that way. But if you want to run an office that sees a lot of people, a lot of families, that people are on care plans, if you want to run an office with low overhead, that's a family-based practice, that you love them and they love you, and you go in there with full authenticity, with full integrity, communicating and telling people what it is we do and why it's so necessary and why it's essential for them and their children to be under care, care. If that's the type of office you're running, that's the type of office I've been running for 30 years, and I still have the blessing and the opportunity to go to my office every single day that I'm in there to do the same thing. And I love what I do. I've got all these mentors and teachers, some of them on the wall behind me, some of them aren't on the wall behind me, but I'll tell you, I've culminated an enormous amount of information on how to run an office efficiently, effectively, with a low overhead to increase your volume, explode your volume through retention, and have a lot more fun in practice, and then having some weekends where you can have some fun with your family. That's what I teach you. So listen, maybe, if it's not about coaching. So if you're not looking for a coach, but you're looking for that great information, our events aren't big sales pitches on trying to get you to be on our coaching program. Our events are really nuts and bolts on how to run your office. I know this, that, hey, listen, the more you're around me, the more you're going to model success. The more you're going to do that I do. And the more you do that I do, the more you're going to get what I get. Right? The more people you're going to see, the higher your retention is, the more fun you're going to have in practice, your certainty, your clarity, your conviction, all of those things are going to increase. And what the byproduct of that is, your office is going to explode. And that's what we need to do. We need to be successful, not just so that we're successful personally, but so the profession's successful and that people that receive care are receiving chiropractic care for a lifetime, not just when they hurt. I don't want to be some emergency clinic. I'm there because I understand what a subluxation is, and I want them to understand what a subluxation is and how detrimental it is to your health and to your family's health. You need to be able to communicate that. You need to be able to articulate that. Not to the people that are just sick. You need to be able to articulate that to the people that don't think they're sick. That's the difference. That's the mindset that you need to have. You need to understand that, listen, it's easy to tell somebody they need chiropractic care if they can't walk up straight, but what are you going to do to the average person who thinks they're healthy? What are you doing to the average person who says, hey, I don't have any known disease, I don't have any aches or pains, I don't have any health problems, my kids don't have ear infections or colic, they don't have any problems at all, why should they need chiropractic care? When you can articulate that with the same level of passion, right, and conviction and certainty, to that person who says I'm feeling good, to that person who isn't feeling good, when you could come at somebody with that same level of conviction to transfer that conviction, that's going to be the difference in your practice. That's going to keep people under care for the rest of your life. That's going to change this profession, and that's going to ensure that for every generation forward, those people utilize and understand chiropractic for the means and the purpose that we're here, not just because their back or neck hurts. That's why you need to be in Chicago with Dr. Joe Borio on March 8th and 9th. If that's something you want to learn, if that's the type of practice you want to have, boy, I'm telling you, take advantage of me. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be there for the whole weekend, and I'm there for you, and that's what I'm going to teach you. Love and appreciate you guys for loving what I love. I'll see you in Chicago March 8th and 9th. Hit the link right below. Brings you right to the registration page. We got an early registration fee of $199. Normally it's $299. So $199, you save $100 if you guys register today. Talk to you guys in Chicago.